Today, Justin Washington will not be with the team this afternoon, serving a suspension. The games with the Crusaders' leading scorer will not be in attendance for this contest today. It'll be Marcus Miller taking the tip, and the Crusaders control possession to start this contest. Again, Evangel 7-20, 5-11 in conference play. Beckmeyer goes down to Miller. Dominguez from the free throw line leaves that short. Marcus Miller picks it up like a pass. Give Nico Dominguez an assist there. And last time out, Evangel dropped its fourth straight to the number 7 team in the country, Central Methodist, 87-71. Crusaders trying to break their 4-game losing streak. Their last win was against Mount Mercy a couple weeks ago here in the Ashcroft, not Mount Mercy, as Mark Baumberger hits a three-pointer there, his first shot of the game. That against Mid-America Nazarene back on January 31st. And now Mount Mercy answers with a three-pointer of their own. And they got a tie ball game at 5 apiece. Dylan Beckmeyer has seen his points per game average dip below 14 on the season after that stretch of 5 straight 20-plus point games. Scott Blakesley, the team's leading shooter in field goal percentage, makes his first bucket on his first field goal attempt of the game. There's Antoine Strong, one of the best facilitators in the country, 7th in assists this season, 12th in assists per game, averaging 5.27 assists per game this year. Dominguez from the free throw line tries to enter a pass down low to Marcus Miller. That goes off of a blue jersey, and here come the Mustangs the other way. Three-pointer by Strong rattles home. And the Mustangs have their first lead of the contest, 10-7. Here's Blakesley in the lane, hands it off to Miller. Miller with a mid-range jumper from the baseline, no good. Nico Dominguez tries to fly in and break up that rebound. But here comes Jake Anderson the other way, flushes one home. Now the Mustangs take a 5-point lead. Jake Anderson, a 6'6" senior out of Mexico, Missouri. He's got 6 points. And now a run out here for Emilio Villagrana. And just like that, the Mustangs take a 7-point lead. 10-0 run for Mount Mercy. Now already a change coming up for head coach Aaron Jennings' squad. Davison Watson, a 6'5" junior out of Champaign, Illinois. We'll send Mike Evans to the bench. Coach Steve Jenkins electing to continue to go with his seniors. Braden Adams heads to the scorer's table as Dylan Beckmeyer fires up a three. That won't fall. Here comes Antoine Strong. Passes it off. Right into the lane and a floater by Davion Watson. And it's a 12-0 run for the Mustangs. Beckmeyer in the corner. Cuts into the lane, hands it off to Dominguez. A nice no-look pass to Scott Blakesley, but he can't handle it. And now we have a jump ball right under the basket. And possession will change over to Mount Mercy. Nico Dominguez will head out. Braden Adams will come in. Adams with 19 points in the loss to Central Methodist on Wednesday. Adams, the team's third leading scorer, averaging 12.92 points per game. Fresh into the game, this is Marquice Jones. Gets fouled hard by Marcus Miller on that cut to the rim. And Jones will head to the free throw line. Marquice Jones, an 80% free throw shooter. And he hits his first. Continue this run for the Mustangs. Knocks down both. Now a 14-0 run for Mount Mercy. Since Evangel was up by 3, it's 7-4. Aiden Adams near side, picks up his dribble now over to Bromberger with 10 to shoot. Goes down low to Marcus Miller. And he can't complete the assist for Bromberger as he gets tied up. Mark Bromberger making the best of his opportunity, getting a start on senior day. Hit his first and only shot attempt for 3 points. It'll actually be a foul, sending Marcus Miller to the free throw line. Miller hits his first. Miller shooting 55.5% from the free throw line, and now Mark Bromberger will check out, gets a nice round of applause from his teammates. Marcus Miller, a perfect 2 of 2, and he stops the bleeding for the Crusaders. Down low to Jake Anderson. Anderson gets double teamed. Passes out to the behind the three-point arc. This is Antoine Strong. Marquise Jones crosses over, gets to the rim. And a nice touch off the glass. Mount Mercy already with 20 points, only a quarter of the way through this game. And the Crusaders turn it over. Much like the women's team, Mount Mercy setting up a full court press early, and it results in a steal. And on the other end, can't convert on a three-point attempt. Adams behind the back, gets double teamed and fouled. He'll head to the free throw line. Back to a more recognizable 5 on the floor for Coach Jenkins' squad, and Beckmeyer, Miller, Blakesley, Call, and Adams. After the 5 seniors got their start today, and a good start from the senior Mark Bromberger. Doesn't get to play a whole lot. Came in with 3 points, perfect 1 of 1 shooting. Now Marcus Miller will head off, and here comes Clark Brewington. He's been the 3-point sniper off the bench for the Crusaders. Brewington shoots 36.5% from 3-point range. Adams goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line and cuts it back to a 10-point game. Strong passes it off, now down low. Some fresh faces in the game for the Mustangs. Brady Stoffler misses that shot. Michael Bronner Henley back in off the bench. Was a starter, didn't play much in the half. Took a short break and now back in for the Mustangs. He gets the putback for Mount Mercy. No look pass intended for Brewington. He kicks it, and it's picked up by Strong. 3-pointer there by Villagrana. And the Mustangs are off and running here, and they'll force Steve Jenkins to take a 30-second timeout. Let's take a break. 25-10. 25-10 run to open up this matchup for Mount Mercy. Dream start for a team that's trying to work their way into a home game in the Hart Tournament. A 3-on-1 here for Braden Adams. He likes to take it himself. He can't get the shot to fall, or can't get the layup to fall. Diagrano pump fake on the three-pointer. Clark Brewington pokes the pass away, and he gets the steal. Beckmeyer has it stripped, and they'll say he knocked it out of bounds. Antoine Strong will check back in. Here comes Nico Dominguez back in for Evangel. That'll send Beckmeyer out. Now Jacob Smith as well will come in for Evangel. Evangel hasn't been able to get much to work early. Shooting at 37.5%, leaving that shooter and Marquice Jones wide open for a three. And an 18-point lead for the Mustangs, not even midway through the first half. Jacob Smith has it swatted away right into the hands of Antoine Strong rather, and here he comes the other way. Marquice Jones with a three, they'll wave it off. And a charge given to Antoine Strong. Jeremiah Stewart on the floor for Mount Mercy. First time getting into this contest. Threading the needle there on the pass. Brewington gives it back to Call. Call cuts to the rim. Evangel trying to slow down this Mount Mercy run. 28-12. 12:25 left to play in the first half. Marquice Jones loses the handle but gets it off to Strong. Now out and a long two. Finds the bottom of the net, Jeremiah Stewart. Mount Mercy hasn't been able to do much of anything wrong as Dominguez gets trapped under the rim. Passes it out to Braden Adams. Another 3-on-1 coming over to Dominguez. A nice decision there by Braden Adams to hand it off to Dominguez, but here coming the other way is Mount Mercy. And staying hot, shooting over 85% from the floor. To Adams under the rim, reverse layup. And now Braden Adams gets caught in the face. And he's on the floor down on the far baseline. He's been being walked off by the trainer, far side. It'll be Isaac Blakesley to check in for Adams. Blakesley, the younger brother of Scott Blakesley. Right to the rim there. Can't get the lay in. Jacob Smith on the defense. Evangel trying to make a run to get back in this. There's Luke Call from straight away. They'll pass it down low to Smith. Smith picks up his dribble all the way out to Dominguez. Dominguez loses the handle on it. Can't handle a hot pass. And that's a Crusader turnover. Their seventh already of the half with 11:06 to play. There's Strong, passes it off. Down to Anderson. Strong will try a three right in the face of Dominguez. Leaves it short. Clark Brewington picks up the rebound. Muhammad Al-Bagami in from Mount Mercy. 6'3" junior out of Battle Creek, Michigan. Jumper there by Dominguez. Crusaders continue to cut into this lead. Now a 14-point deficit, 32-18. Pass down low intended for Jake Anderson. Officials going to say it was tipped by Brewington. Brewington motioning that it should go back to Evangel, but it will stay under the basket with the Mustangs. Take a look back at that jumper. Banked off the glass by Nico Dominguez. Jake Anderson with an answer back here on the other end. Put the Mustangs back up by 16. Dominguez gets trapped again. And now Jacob Smith fouled by Marquice Jones. That's Mount Mercy's fifth. Two more and the Crusaders will be shooting free throws. .56 left to play in the first half. 34-18, Mount Mercy lead. They hit the ground running at the start of this game, and they haven't looked back, shooting over 75% from the floor. And another foul on Mount Mercy, this one on Antoine Strong. Now a change coming up. This is Michael Bronner-Henley. Will send Strong to the bench. Strong seemingly unhappy with the call. That's his second foul. Downloaded Jacob Smith. Turns around. Floats one through to the bottom of the net. It's back to a 14-point game. Mount Mercy working quickly, gets into the half court. Trying a three is Marquice Jones. Jones hits another one. Now 2 of 2 from three-point range. Jones with 12 points to lead all scorers. Crusaders are going to have to try to play with some more tempo to beat this full-court press by Mount Mercy. Three-pointer by Isaac Blakesley. Finds the bottom of the net. Blakesley with a three-point answer. We're back to a 14-point game with under 9 to play. Beckmeyer back to the scores table for Evangel. Here's Anderson, turns around on Clark Brewington. And a rebound by Jacob Smith. Brewington gets double-teamed. Finds Blakesley in the lane, out to Smith. Smith hits a three. And it's an 11-point game. Three-pointers were hard to come by early for Evangel, but they're 3 of 4 now. The Crusaders on a bit of a run here. Three-pointer by Bronner-Henley. Looking for the foul, won't get it. Evangel has played well when working in tempo. We'll see if they decide to speed this game up. Here's Dominguez going straight to the rim. Kicks it out. Extra pass. Smith tries another three, but too short. Come the Mustangs the other way. Full head of steam. This is Bronner-Henley. He's fouled. And Michael Bronner-Henley will head to the free throw line. Take a look at that three-pointer by Jacob Smith. Cut the game down to 11. Jacob Smith doesn't take a lot of threes, but he's a good three-point shooter, shooting over 50% on the season. There's Bronner-Henley at the free throw line, knocks down the first. Bronner-Henley, a 64.8% free throw shooter. Bronner-Henley, the best scorer on the Mustang squad, averaging 13.88 points per game. Now Nico Dominguez and Clark Brewington will both have a seat as Dylan Beckmeyer and Marcus Miller check in. Bronner-Henley goes 2 of 2 from the line. Up ahead to Beckmeyer. That pass is tipped, but saved from going out of bounds. Nice play by Jake Anderson. Here come the Mustangs in transition. This is Villagrana, gives it off to Jones. Jones has his pocket picked, but it ends up right in the hands of Jake Anderson. Driving in, back out to Villagrana. Now a three-pointer by Jones. Jones can't hit it. That's his first three-point miss. Bronner Henley with the offensive rebound. Another opportunity for Mount Mercy. Villagrana will slow the tempo down now. Over to Bronner Henley. He tries a three. He'll get the foul this time. And now Bronner Henley to the free throw line to attempt 3 free throws. That's Isaac Blakesley's first foul of the contest. Evangel's third of the half. And 3 free throws coming up for Michael Bronner Henley with 7:08 to play in the half. After making 2 straight, Bronner Henley misses his first. Makes the second, came in averaging 13.88 points per game, 4.4 rebounds per game. Again, the leading scorer on this Mount Mercy squad, 333 points this season. And taking a moment to wipe up some perspiration on the free throw line and in the paint. Michael Bronner Henley goes 2 of 3 that trip to the free throw line, 4 out of 5 overall. He's now got 6 points for the Mustangs. Blakesley gets it across half court. His older brother Scott Blakesley getting the pass back from Marcus Miller. And now back down low to Miller. Miller working on Jake Anderson. Miller backs in off the glass. Can't get it to fall. Offensive rebound by Scott Blakesley. And he gets the second chance bucket. Evangel keeping it close. A 13-point game, 41-28. Mount Mercy has had control of this ball game all afternoon. Cutting into the lane, that's Brady Stoffler. A shot partially blocked, and here comes Evangel the other way. Trying their best to push the tempo, if any. Down to Miller. Miller kicks it out to Luke Call. Thinks about a three. Now passes it back to Miller all the way across. Beckmeyer, he'll fire one away. Splash! Dylan Beckmeyer cuts it back to a 10-point game with under 6 to play in the half. Three-pointer no good by Villagrana. Rebound by Luke Call. Evangel trying to cut this down to a single-digit game. It's a 10-point lead by Mount Mercy, 41-31. They've led by as much as 19. Luke Call tries a three. Splash! Luke Call makes it a 7-point game and a timeout by the Mustangs. We'll take a break. 41-34, 5:25 left to play in the half. Luke Call with a big three-pointer to cut this down to a single-digit game. Let's take a look at the replay. 41-34, Mount Mercy lead. No Crusader has more than 5 points in this game. 9 Crusaders are in the scoring column here in the first half. Pass down low. Stoffler leaves it short. Under 5 to play. Evangel with an opportunity to cut even deeper into the deficit. Beckmeyer trying to keep the Crusaders hot, just too short on the three-pointer off the pass. Now a three-pointer here on the other side by Mount Mercy, no good. And rebound by Jake Anderson. Here's Stoffler, floats one in. That'll quiet the Crusader crowd by a tad. Back to Beckmeyer. Gives it off to Blakesley, but has it blocked by Albagami. Here comes Albagami the other way. Mount Mercy slowing tempo a little bit. Played very fast for a majority of this first half. Jake Anderson passes out. Albagami draws the double team. Now down low to Anderson and a travel. .402 left in the half. 9-point Mount Mercy lead. Here's Call trying to stay hot from three-point range, and he does. Luke Call knocks down another three. He's got 8 points. And he's your leading scorer for the Crusaders on his second made three-pointer in 2 attempts. On the baseline, kick out, Albagami with a three, and he answers. Crusaders shooting percentage up over 55% now. 5 of 8 shooting from three-point range. Here comes Albagami the other way. 3-on-1, hands it off to Stoffler. Scott Blakesley can't quite fly in and get the block, and now it's back out to a double-digit lead, 48-37. Paul picks up his dribble, goes down low to Blakesley, has it poked away, but a foul on Jake Anderson, and Scott Blakesley will head to the free throw line. Scott Blakesley with 4 points, his first trip to the stripe. And Blakesley hits the first. Chandler Lyon checking in for Evangel, as well as Nico Dominguez. Since Scott Blakesley and Luke Call out. Luke Call leaves as the Crusaders' leading scorer with 8 points. Perfect 3 of 3 shooting from the floor. 2 of 2 from three-point range, and Blakesley hits both free throws. Blakesley makes it a single-digit game once more. 48-39 lead for the Mustangs. On pace to score over 100 points, as they're just too shy of 50 in the first half. Here's Bronner Henley. That three-pointer rattles out. And it'll stay with the Mustangs. Michael Bronner Henley, leading scorer on the season for the Mustangs, has just 6 points in the half. 0 of 2 on three-point shooting, but he hits that one. Bronner Henley with 9, and he makes it a 12-point game as we near 2 minutes to play in the half. Bounce pass down low to Beckmeyer. Dribbles out beyond the three-point arc. Dominguez goes down low to Marcus Miller. Marcus Miller trying to back in on Stoffler. And a foul on Brady Stoffler. Now Marcus Miller to the free throw line, a perfect 2 of 2. He's got 4 points and 3 rebounds. He makes the first 1-and-1 opportunity. Dylan Beckmeyer back out again. Luke Call checks back into the game. Miller goes a perfect 2 of 2 again. He's got 6 points, 4 out of 4 from the free throw line, and we're under 2 minutes to play in the half. Back to a 10-point game. Over to Stoffler. Stoffler fouled. Will they say it's on the floor? Will they say it was a shooting attempt? And they will count the basket, it looks like. Stoffler to the free throw line to attempt the and one play. And he hits it. Pass down low to Marcus Miller. Tipped out of bounds by Stoffler. And possession will stay here with the Crusaders with 20 on the shot clock. Nico Dominguez on the baseline. Call will try a three off the pass. Rattles out. Albagami trying to find space. Kicks it out to Jones. Jones with a shot fake. Hesitation move at the rim. And that will be a personal foul on Stoffler. And that will send Luke Call to the free throw line. Call makes the first. Cuts it down to a 12-point advantage. Jake Anderson will check in for Stoffler. Now here comes Isaac Blakesley, and Chandler Lyon will head out and take a seat. Luke Call makes both. It's an 11-point game with 1:13 to play. Back to Marquise Jones. He gets fouled. Crusaders fifth. They've got one more to give before they put the Mustangs in the bonus. It'll be Davion Watson to trigger the inbound. Bronner Henley drives in the lane, kicks it out. Watson with a three. Too short. Jake Anderson fights for the rebound for the Mustangs, and he'll be hit with a foul. And more free throws coming up for Evangel. That's Jake Anderson's second. And it'll be Luke Call at the free throw line. Luke Call with 10 points, only Crusader in double digits. He's got 1 assist and 3 rebounds. He hits the first, making it a 10-point game. 49.9 seconds left to play in the half. Evangel in the double bonus with the Mustangs having 10 fouls. Crusaders still with 1 more to give. They sit at 5. Now Jacob Smith will check in for Marcus Miller to finish out the half. That'll be Dominguez, Blakesley, Smith, Isaac Blakesley, and Luke Call. Down by 9 with 45 seconds left in the first half. Good crossover by Bronner Henley, and he's fouled on his trip to the basket. And that's Dominguez's second foul. Bronner Henley has 2 free throws coming up. And Dylan Beckmeyer will head to the scores table, likely to get Dominguez. Here comes Dominguez out. Back in for the Mustangs. Jeremiah Stewart. Nielsen, Davion Watson out. And Bronner Henley makes both. Beckmeyer would like to make this a single-digit game before the half. Picks up his dribble, passes it down low to Luke Call, kick out. Isaac Blakesley with a three, rattles home. 8-point game with 15 seconds left in the half. See if we can get one more defensive stop here before the break. This is Bronner Henley. Gets it back. He'll try a three at the end of the half, knocks it down. And Evangel will head into the locker room down by 11, 59-48. Luke Call, Evangel leading scorer with 12 points. Tied as the game's leading. 7.5 on 15 of 27 shooting. 8 turnovers for the Crusaders in the half resulted in 9 more shots for the Mustangs. And Evangel with possession to open up the second. Cut it down to as much as 7 in the first half after the Mustangs led by 18 at one point. But a last-second three-pointer by Michael Bronner Henley at the buzzer gave the Mustangs an 11-point lead at the break. Down to Marcus Miller. He's being harassed, passes it to Scott Blakesley, who can't hit the three-pointer from the elbow. Down to Jake Anderson. Rattles that one home. Evangel just looked a little flat all game, although they scored 48 points. And most games, when you score 48 points in a half, you expect to say that that was a pretty good showing, but Evangel allowing 59 points. Again, that be it on 9 more shot attempts by Mount Mercy. Beckmeyer spins through a couple defenders, floats one up to the rim, and Scott Blakesley comes back over to slam the putback home. But down on the other end, Jake Anderson in transition. Cannot spend too long celebrating on good buckets like that. It's a quick-moving Mount Mercy team. Strikes right back with a transition bucket. And Evangel right back where they were at 13-point deficit. Luke Call with a long three-pointer. Splash! Luke Call having one of his best three-point shooting games of the season. Now 3 out of 5, 15 points for the junior out of Mount Vernon, Missouri. Bounce pass over to Antoine Strong. Strong backs in. Hot pass down low off the hands of Luke Call. That will stay with the Mustangs with 9 to shoot. 9 to shoot. Marcus Miller will out to Call. Call tries another three. Too strong off the backboard, but Isaac Blakesley with the offensive board. And now Mike Evans tips away that pass. Brewington trying to save it out of bounds. And some good fight shown out of the Crusaders. And a timeout coming up for Mount Mercy. Let's take a break. 15:35 left to go in the second half. Mustangs outscoring Evangel by 3 in the second. They have a 69-55 lead. There's Antoine Strong. And the corner to Marquice Jones. He's fouled hard. No, they'll give him the charge. They'll send it the other way. That's Marquice Jones' second foul. Mustangs first of the half. In the corner, Brewington, his first three-point attempt just rattles out. That one tipped out off of a blue jersey, so it will stay with Evangel. Beckmeyer with the inbound. He's got 5 points. Here comes Luke Call. Picks up his dribble at the elbow. Back to Beckmeyer. Blakesley in the lane. All the way out to Brewington. He tries another three. This time it falls. Brewington makes his second three-point attempt. He's 1 of 2. He's now got 3 points off the bench for the Crusaders. Bonner Henley tries a three. He can't hit it. Here comes Evangel with a chance to get this back into single digits. Beckmeyer from the free throw line. It falls, and we have a 9-point game. Evangel trying their best to get back in this ball game, down by 9. Here's Jake Anderson. Turns around, goes over Brewington. And we'll have another stoppage of play. 71-60, Mount Mercy lead. 14-16 to play. Full timeout coming up. We'll step aside. The women's game, Evangel shooting lights out from three-point range, 9 out of 17. You know what that means when the Crusaders make 7 or more three-pointers. You get a $3 barbecue smokestack sandwich at any area rib crib. There's 3 locations, 1 in Ozark, 2 in Springfield. Just mentioned the Evangel Rib Crib three-point contest at any area rib crib to get your $3 barbecue smokestack sandwich. Evangel down by 11. They've cut it down to as little as 9 in the second half. This is Brewington with 7 to shoot. He'll fire up a three. Brewington from the corner. That's a sweet spot. 6 points for Brewington off the bench, and we have an 8-point game. Down low, Brewington pokes that pass. It'll stay with Mount Mercy, however. Here's Bronner Henley. Draws a screen. Gets it over to Marquice Jones. Now Davion Watson over to Villagrana. His three no good. And an offensive rebound by Michael Bronner Henley. Clark Brewington cleans it up. Clark Brewington now with 6 rebounds, 6 points. And Brewington with another three-pointer, give him 9 points. Brewington having himself a game off the bench. And just like that, it's a 5-point ball game. Mount Mercy led by as much as 18 in the first half, and Evangel has climbed all the way back, but Marquice Jones silenced the crowd. Turning into a three-point shooting contest. 11 out of 19 are the Crusaders. 8 out of 18 is Mount Mercy. Blakesley behind the back, loses the handle, but he's fouled. Second of the half for the Mustangs. Let's take a look at this one from Brewington. They've all been from that far side, far left side of the court. Made 3 straight after missing his first. He gets the inbound, gives it right back to Beckmeyer. Beckmeyer tries his hand at a three from the corner, but he leaves it short. And Marquice Jones skies for the rebound over Luke Call. Kick out, it's Villagrana. And down to Jake Anderson. Anderson backs in on Brewington. Good kiss off the glass. Jake Anderson now with 18 points. And he puts the Mustangs back up by double digits. Jacob Smith gets fouled at the rim. He'll head to the free throw line. Smith with 5 points. He'll make his first trip to the stripe. Jacob Smith, a 95% free throw shooter. Best on the team. As he gets the first one to rattle in. Smith has now attempted 23 free throws. He's made 22. And he makes the second as well. Back to a single-digit game. 76-68. Mount Mercy still on pace to score 100 points. And Jacob Smith with the foul on Marquice Jones. Evangel's third. Jones in the lane. Floats one up off the glass. Mount Mercy just is keeping their nose out in front of Evangel as we near the midway point in the second half. Player hits the deck off the ball. That's Marquice Jones. Beckmeyer tries to float one down low to Marcus Miller, but it's kept alive. Luke Call swatted away by Jake Anderson, and here comes Mount Mercy. Marquise Jones kicks it out to Albagami. He tries a three, and Mount Mercy back atop by 13. And a foul on Marquise Jones, his third. 81-68. Mustangs lead, 10:28 to play in the second. Mount Mercy shooting right at 60%. Nice shooting performance. They've gotten off 6 more shots than Evangel. A result of 10 Evangel turnovers. Beckmeyer fights through a screen. He tries a three, and he'll get it back to a 10-point game. Strong. A nice step in the lane and the foul. Antoine Strong will head, Jake Anderson rather, gets fouled after the pass. He'll head to the free throw line. Anderson working on 18 points, make it 19. Trying to get to that 20-point plateau. He's only scored over 20 points twice this season. That was in back-to-back games back on January 27th and 31st. So we take a look back at that Dylan Beckmeyer three-pointer that cut it back to 10. The Mustangs are back up by 12. Beckmeyer works it across half court, takes it himself, and a wild shot. Doesn't find anything. Here come the Mustangs the other way. Villagrana tries a three. No good. Marcus Miller with the rebound. Entry pass to Miller. Goes right to the glass. And back to a 10-point game once more, but Mount Mercy continuing to work with tempo. Here's Antoine Strong. He's fouled on the floor by Beckmeyer. That's Beckmeyer's first. Now they'll actually give it to Luke Call. Beckmeyer will check out anyway. Antoine Strong inbounds it all the way into the opposite court to Bronner Henley. He'll dribble it back across and reset. Albagami runs right into Marcus Miller. Down low to Anderson. That's tipped away. Here comes Isaac Blakesley. Nico Dominguez jump stop, turn around, can't hit the shot. And Marquice Jones hit hard by Isaac Blakesley. Gets back up. That's the 6th Crusader foul of the half. Now after the inbound, Mustangs will be shooting free throws the rest of the way out as we take a look at that nice entry pass down to Marcus Miller on a previous possession. It's a 10-point game with 8:40 left. Mustangs with an 83-73 advantage. Albagami loses his footing but passes it off to Mike Evans. Evans gets it back. Albagami loses the handle again. He's being harassed by Nico Dominguez. Now Evans in the lane. And a charge. They send it back the other way. Mike Evans' first foul. Both teams nearly in the bonus. Mount Mercy in the bonus as Evangel has 6 fouls. Evangel 1 foul away as Mount Mercy has 5. And the lane to Luke Call. Luke Call just leaves it short. The Mustangs continue to work with speed. Antoine Strong spins in. And he's bailed out with a foul. Strong to the free throw line. Averages 12.3 points per game. He's got just 3 today. A couple free throws coming up here for the junior out of Akron, Ohio. Again, Antoine Strong, one of the best facilitators in the country, 7th in assists per game, averaging 5.27 assists per contest. He's got 3 today, along with now 5 points. Brewington's got to get it across half court, and he does. Blakesley kicks it out to Brewington. Brewington fires away a 3. Splash! Clark Brewington with a high arcing 3-pointer. Brewington now 4 out of 5, 12 points off the bench. For the sophomore out of Pocahontas, Arkansas. Evangel just has to stop the bleeding, this scoring barrage out of Mount Mercy. 85 points with just over 7 minutes to play. And the offense has been there for Evangel all day. They just have to stop the scoring from Mount Mercy, who's shooting right at 60% for the game. Blakesley loses the handle. Now here come the Mustangs. Bronner Henley kicks it out. Albagami with a 3. No good. Strong with the rebound. And he's fouled, and back to the free throw line is Antoine Strong. Let's take a look at that 3-pointer by Blakesley. A high 3-point shot by Scott Blakesley. Or Clark Brewington, rather. But a foul drawn by Antoine Strong on the other end. He's at the free throw line, a 70% free throw shooter. He's 2 of 2 today. And he makes the first. Nico Dominguez checks back out. Here comes Dylan Beckmeyer back in. Nico Dominguez getting plenty of playing time today in relief of Beckmeyer, who checks back into the game with 10 points and 3 assists. Beckmeyer came into the game 57 points shy of 1,000 for his career. He's made 59 three-pointers this season. That's 12th most in a season at Evangel. He also has 95 assists this year, already tying his season high with the 3 today. That breaks his season high. His career out of 11 from three-point range, combining for 29 points off the bench. Evangel has hit 7 or more three-pointers. You know what that means. You get a $3 barbecue smokestack sandwich from any area rib crib. Just mention the Evangel and Rib Crib three-point contest at any area rib crib. The 1 location in Ozark, the 2 in Springfield, to get a $3 barbecue smokestack sandwich. Mustangs come out of the break shooting over 55%. Still on pace to score over 100 points. Marquice Jones fires up a 3 too strong. That rebound tipped off of a white jersey. It'll stay with the Mustangs. It's been an even rebounding game. 9 offensive rebounds apiece, 16 defensive rebounds apiece. There's been some second chance opportunities by Mount Mercy that have kept Evangel from getting right back in this. They've got 14 second chance points. And now a push on Evangel. That's on Beckmeyer. And that will send Marquice Jones rather, to the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1. And he misses it. And now Blakesley is fouled. That's the Mustangs' 6th, though. And a technical foul coming up. I guess they'll give that to Mike Evans. As Mike Evans walks with his head down to the bench. Foul was drawn by Scott Blakesley, but after the technical, I believe they'll send Beckmeyer to the free throw line. He's the best free throw shooter on the floor. Shooting 80%. Well, they'll actually send Clark Brewington to the free throw line. He shoots 80% as well. Brewington makes both free throws after the technical foul. And they'll bring the ball all the way back on the opposite baseline for the inbound. Nice break caught by Evangel on the technical foul by Mike Evans. And Evangel now in the bonus. Mount Mercy continues to press full court. They beat it. We'll see if Evangel pushes the tempo. They do. Reverse layup by Luke Call, and he misses it. And here comes Mount Mercy the other way. Kick out, three-pointer. Marquice Jones leaves it short. Fight for the rebound. We'll get a jump ball. That's a quick whistle, but it will stay with Mount Mercy. It looks like Coach Steve Jenkins unhappy with the quick whistle. And that one kicked out of bounds by Bronner Henley. And here it comes back to Evangel. 5:24 left to play. Evangel's making it close. It's a 7-point ball game, 87-80. Brewington's got the hot hand from three-point range. He hands it off. Now he gets it back on the far side. Luke Call, he'll face up with a three, too strong. And it'll go back to the Mustangs. 5:01 left to play. Here comes Emilio Villagrana back in for Mount Mercy. We'll send Davion Watson out. Evangel's shooting percentage has dipped below 50%. Still staying in the ballgame, down by 7. Marquice Jones drives in, kicks out. Now we've got a foul off the ball. That one on Luke Call, I believe. And 2 free throws coming up for Marquice Jones. That's Luke Call's second. And the 10th foul of the half for Evangel. That puts Mount Mercy in the double bonus. And Marquise Strong misses a second straight free throw. He's now 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Jones, an 80% free throw shooter on the season, makes the second. And it's an 8-point ball game. Beckmeyer gets a screen, passes it back to Brewington. Brewington, a bounce pass in the lane to stop Blakesley. And a high floater off the glass. And it's a 6-point ball game. Under 5 to play. 88-82, Mount Mercy lead. Evangel needs a stop. Can they catch a break on the defensive end? Strong gets a screen, high floater, gets his own rebound. Pass out to Marquise Jones. Shot clock doesn't reset. And Marquise Jones is fouled. He will head back to the stripe. Take a look back at that high floater by Scott Blakesley on the other end. Antoine Strong has some free throws coming up, and he misses the first one again. Marquise Jones, 3 out of 6 from the free throw line. And now the crowd gets loud. Jones goes 1 out of 2 again in a timeout by Mount Mercy head coach Aaron Jennings. They'll step aside, 89-82, Mount Mercy on top. For hand. There's Isaac Blakesley over to Brewington, tries another 3. That one was way off the mark, but a whistle before the shot. And it'll send Clark Brewington to the line. That one on Michael Bronner-Henley. And it'll send Brewington to the free throw line. A 1-and-1 opportunity coming up. Brewington's 2 out of 2 from the free throw line today. And he makes the first. And now we have a whistle. Free throw off, and it will be Scott Blakesley now at the free throw line instead. And what an interesting turn of events this would be if Blakesley was unable to hit this free throw, but he does. Scott Blakesley, a 72% free throw shooter. He hits both. And it's back to a 4-point game. Evangel needs a defensive stop. Strong in the lane, floats it off the glass. That's good. Antoine Strong with 9 points. .240 on the clock. It's a 6-point game. Beckmeyer with a floater off the back iron. Tip out by Jake Anderson, and here comes Mount Mercy. Michael Bronner-Henley behind the back. And that's off of Blakesley, so it will stay with Mount Mercy. What a time to try to get fancy with your team up by just 6. And playoff positioning on the line. That's in and blocked away. Here comes Isaac Blakesley. Doesn't have any help. He'll take it himself, and a good touch by Isaac Blakesley in a timeout. Trying to be called by Coach Jenkins. He won't get it. That's a 4-point game. Now Mount Mercy calling to run some clock. As we near 2 minutes to play and a foul off the ball. We'll send Marquice Jones to the free throw line. That one on Isaac Blakesley, that's his first. Or rather his fourth. And 2 free throws coming up for Marquice Jones. Marquice Jones is just 4 out of 7. How he hits that one. Marquice Jones now with 20 points. And he just goes 1 out of 2. Break there for the Crusaders, down by 5. They can make this a 1-possession game with a bucket, and they'll burn one of their 4 remaining timeouts. Evangel shooting for Bloom large if they were unable to come back and get a victory here. 11 turnovers to 6 by the Mustangs. And that's, again, resulted in 4 more shot attempts by Mount Mercy. 2 minutes to play. Evangel down by 5. Blakesley was freed up in the lane, or excuse me, Brewington was. Blakesley was unable to find him. Here's Blakesley from the free throw line, hits it. And we have a 1-possession game. Evangel 7-20, 5-11 in the conference, trying to get closer to securing a home game in the Hart playoffs. 2 games behind, or 2 games separate those 2 through 7 seeds. Antoine Strong off the glass, shielding himself from the defender, gets the high bank to fall. He's into double digits with 11 points. That pass tipped out of bounds by Bronner Henley. They'll stay with Evangel. Clark Brewington has the inbound right in front of his bench. 1:11 to play. And a charge called on Beckmeyer. Let's take a look back at that floater by Scott Blakesley, but the foul on Beckmeyer with 1:02 to play could come close to doing Evangel in here. See if they can get a stop, but they'll actually hand the quick foul to Michael Bronner Henley. Bronner Henley will go to the free throw line. Bronner Henley with 16 points, 6 out of 7 shooting from the free throw line. Trying to put this game out of reach. This Mustangs up by 5. And he misses the first free throw. Jake Anderson checking back in for Muhammad Al-Bagami. Anderson with a season high 22 points. And here's Bronner Henley with a second free throw attempt. That's that one. Crusaders down by 6. 1 minute to play. Crusaders need a quick shot. Beckmeyer to the rim. And a timeout by Steve Jenkins. We'll step aside. 97-93. Crusaders down by 4. 55 seconds to play. For the Mustangs. up in man in the full court press. Albagami screens strong, and Luke Call nearly saves it from going out of bounds. It'll be another inbound by Villagrana. Comes Davion Watson in for Bronner Henley. Likely getting their best free throw shooting squad on the floor is Coach Aaron Jennings. They get a trap. Doesn't look like they're going to foul. Trying to hand the foul. At this point, you would think you want to just play defense as we're getting later in the shot clock. But they will foul Antoine Strong. And he'll go to the free throw line where he's a perfect 4 out of 4. Antoine Strong misses his first one, and it's been a poor free throw shooting for the Mustangs. Now 19 out of 27 from the free throw line. And here comes Michael Bronner Henley back in, as well as Jake Anderson. Strong makes his second attempt. Evangel needs to score quick. Luke Call hands it off to Beckmeyer. Beckmeyer, the reverse layup. And another timeout from Steve Jenkins. It's a one-possession game with 35.7 to play. Seconds left to play on Senior Day. And what a send-out this would be for these seniors. Crusaders were down by as much as 18 in the first half. Now Brewington hands the foul to Antoine Strong. Evangel has battled all the way back to make it a three-point game. They've yet to lead in this contest. 2 free throws coming up for Strong. He's missed just one today, 5 out of 6, and it was on his last trip to the line. Here comes Isaac Blakesley back in for Jacob Smith. And Strong misses the second. It's a 4-point game. Evangel needs a quick bucket. Doesn't need to be a 3. Blakesley leaves it short, and that's a heartbreaker, getting it back in a travel. There we go. Evangel gets a break on the Marquice Jones travel. An inbound here, and we'll see if they can draw up a play to free up Clark Brewington. 5 out of 6 3-point shooting. They get it into Beckmeyer. Beckmeyer loses the handle, and Blakesley forced the foul. That's Blakesley's third. A pair of free throws coming up for Marquice Jones with 19.5 seconds to play. Jones now 6 out of 10 from the stripe. And he makes both. Couple clutch free throws for Marquice Jones. Mount Mercy's now eclipsed the 100-point plateau with 101. Beckmeyer fouled. He'll go to the free throw line, down by 6. Well, even if it does result in a loss, good fight shown by the Crusaders to be down by 16, battling all the way back to as little, or down by 18 at one point, battling back to as little as 3. And Beckmeyer misses his first free throw. 2 straight home games now. Evangel has had 100 points plus scored on them. Beckmeyer makes the second. And checking back in is Emilio Villagrana. Most ideal thing to happen here would be for Evangel to get a steal off the inbound. They get it into Villagrana. Evangel gets it back. Brewington tries a three, leaves it short. Smith with the rebound, and it's a 3-point game with 8.2 seconds to play. Evangel gets the steal they needed. And Steve Jenkins burns his final. It'll be another inbound under their own basket for Mount Mercy. They turned it over last time, resulted in a 2-point bucket. Evangel down by 3. They need another big steal here. Beckmeyer tries to poke it away. It's on the baseline. Who will it go to? It'll stay with Mount Mercy. Villagrana comes out. Another inbound coming up. And a timeout coming up. 7.3 to play. Mount Mercy atop by 3. It looks like it will be Michael Bronner-Henley to trigger the inbound. Gets it into Marquice Jones. And one make here would likely seal it for Mount Mercy, up by 3. Marquice Jones has had his struggles from the free throw line, but he's made 2 straight. And he'll have 2 coming up here. And Jones does make the front end. Jones with 23 points. Misses the second. And fouled. Clark Brewington is fouled. That is the absolute best case scenario that could have happened there on the miss. Better than a clean rebound, certainly, because some untimed shots coming up for Clark Brewington. One of the best free throw shooters on the Crusader squad, who is a perfect 2 of 2 from the free throw line today. Brewington hits the first. Brewington now the Crusaders' leading scorer with 18 points. And he hits the second as well. It's a 2-point game. Here comes the inbound from Michael Bronner-Henley. Gets it into Antoine Strong. He's fouled with 3.8 seconds left. Two free throws coming up for Strong. If he makes the first and misses the second, it would be a long ways to go for Evangel with 3.8 left to play. And he misses the first. Evangel will at least have a chance. Here comes the second from Antoine Strong. Makes the second. It's a 3-point game. Blakesley gets it in, and he's fouled. A pretty smart play there by Michael Bronner-Henley. We'll send Beckmeyer to the free throw line. I'm surprised that more teams don't do that. When you're up by 3 with a couple seconds left. 2 free throws coming up for Beckmeyer. Beckmeyer makes the first. Now what do you do here? The intentional miss, or do you try to make it and then force a steal on the or force a turnover on the inbound? .3 seconds to play. Evangel down by 2. Beckmeyer gets the miss. But the good rebound by Dennis McKinney. And he'll have 2 free throws coming up. You make the first. Howard Van Noon made it. He's got 7 points. And he misses it. Evangel with no timeout, so they can't get a stoppage even if McKinney misses. And if I was McKinney, I'd miss it on purpose. You give Evangel a chance if you miss and a foul, and that'll just about do it. Mohamed Al-Bagami with the offensive rebound. And now he'll have 2 free throws with 1 second left. You almost got to hope he misses the first and makes the second. He does miss the first. What a poor free throw shooting performance it's been. Mount Mercy has attempted 39 free throws. They've made just 25 of them. And we're almost hoping Al-Bagami makes the second. And he does. Beckmeyer with the home run pass, and that'll do it. Mount Mercy escapes with a 104-101 victory. That's the second straight home game Evangel scored over 100 points and lost.